Was this the worst transfer window for Chelsea? Today's video, we are going to be diving into what all happened this January transfer window, what it means for Chelsea and Enzo Maresca. Now, first off, we all know that Todd Boehly and Clear Lake love to spend money when it comes to transfer windows. We saw them bring in Enzo Fernandez, Mykhailo Mudryk, and the list goes on and on during different transfer windows. But this transfer window was different. We barely brought anyone in and spent very minimum on players that we did bring in. Now, the big takeaway, though, is the players leaving the club right now. Now, yes, we did loan quite a few players out, but we also did sell a few players in this window. Now, the first player, Casadei, this again isn't too surprising. We really haven't seen him play at Chelsea, was loaned out multiple times, and the fact that it never really did work for him at this club was sold, and therefore again gave us a net positive because what we sold him for was around 15 million pounds, and therefore again that helped us bring in different players like Sarr, who was 14 million, and Chelsea actually ended up being in the black this transfer window, which is quite remarkable because people give Chelsea the stick about how they always spend money, but this window they actually saved money. Now, not on top of that, we also saw Renato Vega also leave, Chukwuemeka, Axel Disasi, and João Felix all leave different clubs that are playing in the Champions League. Now, the fact is, we need to break this down a little bit because Vega, yes, wanted more time, but it just wasn't going to happen at this club. But we will dive into this a little bit more and why this is a huge issue for Chelsea. Chukwuemeka, same thing, was not getting playing time. Makes sense that he was getting loaned out. Now, Axel Disasi, this is the one that's really questionable because we have multiple injuries in our CB position, but this guy cannot somehow play a decent game under Chelsea. So therefore, it makes sense we loaned him out. But the fact is, we also brought back Trevor Chalobah on his loan from Crystal Palace, who has been just lighting up the league this season. And again, it's quite remarkable that Chelsea wanted to loan this player out with how good he's been. So the fact that we're able to hold on to Trevor Chalobah really speaks volume. We need to keep this player next season because of what he can do. He's played under different managers. He's able to actually play different tactics and play in different roles in the back line. And on top of that, he's also availability is almost 100%. He's almost always healthy, which you cannot say about half our defense this season. So therefore, again, it makes sense. We brought him back and then loaned out to Sassy, who again, hopefully we can sell him at the end of the season because let's be real here, it's been a disaster. Now, João Felix, this is the one that's a head scratcher because it still doesn't make sense why we bought this player. Yes, I probably understand it came from Gallagher deal that we did this past summer, but the fact is, João Felix right now does not seem to fit this system at all. He can't really find his spot in this team, and therefore, again, it makes sense why we loan this player out. And the fact is, we probably are going to be selling this player before the end of the season. So again, why we bought this player, no clue. Hopefully, we can get some good money for him and actually make a net positive off this guy. But like I said, it just is really mind-boggling why we even have this player at the club. And the last player we need to talk about is Ben Chilwell, who was also loaned out to Crystal Palace. This guy obviously sent to the Shadow Realm. We have not seen him play under Enzo Maresca really this season. We saw him in preseason do a few matches, but the fact is he never was able to shine under this player, and he just does not like how he plays and does not suit his tactics. And therefore, again, I do wish that Ben Chilwell has a good time at Crystal Palace. Hopefully, maybe this also clears it up with us with Crystal Palace because obviously bringing back Chalobah, they were probably a little upset. So now we're offering Ben Chilwell, and hopefully he can improve there as well, but probably also going to be on the chopping block this coming summer and probably will be sold. So overall, with Chelsea bringing the few younger guys, Chelsea, like I said, have been in the black this transfer window. But the big takeaway, though, is talking about Vega and Cucurella, because now that Vega is gone, we only have one proper left back to fit in for Cucurella, and that is Cucurella. We have no one else. So if he goes down injured, we are going to now have to move different players around to fit that position. More likely put Colwell out on that left back position, and we all know how bad that went last season under Pochettino. Yes, we could obviously bring in a youth academy player, but right now we are trying to compete for top four for Champions League next season. And the fact is, we only have one guy that can play as a left back. Speaks volume for how dangerous this could be for Chelsea. And on top of that, we also now only have one proper striker as well with Nicholas Jackson. With Mark Gahey getting injured, could be out for multiple months this season, if not the rest of the season. And Jackson right now is in a goal-scoring drought. The fact is, we only have him to rely on right now. Could be be very difficult for Chelsea to win games and score goals. Now, I do obviously hope that he starts scoring goals, but these were two lacking and big concerns that Chelsea did not fix this transfer window. And therefore, again, I want to say it was a very poor transfer window because there were different players out there that we could have brought in to fit these roles or hold on to different players to, again, make sure we had depth in those areas, but we did not do that. Now, obviously, the board does see something in some of these players and maybe not in some of these players, and that's why they sold them. But overall, this transfer window, I'm going to say, was a D for the most part. Again, overall does not look good for us. But yes, like I said, if we can go the rest of the season without any injuries, then obviously it will work out for us. But like I said, the Cucurella is a big issue, and obviously Jackson is the other one that we really need to focus on. So during the summer, we'll see what the board does and what Chelsea does for the rest of the season. If you enjoyed this video, I greatly appreciate if you do hit the like button, subscribe down below, and also comment down below what you think about this transfer window and if it was good, bad, or average at best.